Shut up and sit down.
We're rocking new intro music, and this is Third and a Mile, our Week 2 NFL preview. I'm Timothy Chura, here with Nick Gappis to my right, maybe to the left. I don't know what it looks like for you guys, but in real time, he's to my right. Nick, what's going on?
Not much. Not much has changed since yesterday.
Do you like not being able to see me? Because you have to look at this camera while you talk.
I can still see you. I can look at you.
If I took off my sunglasses, I could probably see you out of the corner of my eye.
Probably.
Not going to do it, though. I have to protect my identity. Still sick.
You ready to talk some football?
Yeah, sorry. We have a packed slate. If you guys want the recap on Week 1, we talk about it in our Tuesday Bump and Shoulders pod. Wow, I stumbled through that. Our podcast yesterday came out, Bump and Shoulders. Check that out, and we have our Week 1 recap, and there's also an article up on the site about it. All we're going to get to today is we'll jump right into Week 2 and start breaking that down from all sorts of perspectives. We'll start off in, I guess, the only way possible, Thursday night, 8:20 p.m. The Ravens travel to Cincinnati to take on the Bengals. Nick, what's your first thought of that?
I think the Ravens beat them. I think the Colts aren't a great team, and the Colts almost had the Bengals beat besides that fumble, really. And I don't know. I don't see this game being very close. If anything, Baltimore may be scoring late to make it look a lot closer than the game actually was the whole time. But I like these Ravens receivers a lot with what they did to Buffalo. You know, Buffalo's a bad team, but they're still an NFL team. If the Ravens are carving them up that bad, I think they're going to be really good. I could see them taking the North this year.
Yeah, and I mean, it was Week 1, so you can't take everything from it. But as a whole, that team top to bottom looked significantly better than the Bengals did. I think that Ravens defense is going to be too much for a lukewarm Bengals offense to move the ball too effectively.
Well, exactly, and you can't tell me that the Bills offense, no matter the rest of the season, they're going to get first downs. They're going to score points. They could not do that against this Ravens team.
They went the whole first half without a first down against the Ravens Sunday.
I think they went into the half with negative 3 yards, didn't they?
I think it was 23.
Oh, was it?
I mean, either way, not enough yards.
Yeah.
Have more yards if you're in a football game. That's literally the whole point. I was a little bit worried about it. Baltimore notoriously plays poor in Cincinnati, but the Ravens are giving up 1 point in this spread. I'll take the Ravens all day against this spread, and I'll take them outright.
Yeah, you have to.
The point total sitting at 44.5, and I could see this falling short of that point total as well. I think this could be a low-scoring, rolling game.
If you look at the history of Thursday night games, they don't tend to be high scores. There we go. There we go. I'm back. They don't tend to be high-scoring games, so, you know, these teams had short weeks. I wouldn't expect them to come out putting up a ton of points, but I could see it being below that total.
Yeah, and again, this Ravens defense is no joke, and it's very possible that the Ravens offense comes out struggling and doesn't move the ball fast.
Yeah, because the Bengals have a good defense. Ravens, yeah.
I had this game at 24-17 in Baltimore's favor, and
I could see
that would fall short of the 44.5 spread. That'd be 41 total points, obviously, and I like that. I think Baltimore could win this game by a touchdown, and I don't think they're going to blow them out, but I think it's definitely going to be a touchdown game. Moving into the 1 o'clock games on Sunday, Indianapolis Colts at Washington Redskins. Nick, I have this game 24-21 Washington.
Nope.
What do you think?
Colts are going to win this one. Come on, man.
Why?
We can't drop every game going into the fourth quarter.
No, you apparently can.
We may be the best team in the first 3 quarters.
No, I don't think that's the case, but definitely the worst in the fourth.
Yeah, by far. It's just, I wish we could just close out a game. It'd be so nice. Last year would have been such a different season. This year, we would be 1-0 if we could just close out a game.
My big concern here is the Colts have no defense, really. I mean, their defense struggles, and they don't really have a run game. If Washington can kind of keep this game...
We may see Marlon Mack back this week, though, which gives them a little bit more of a run game.
Yeah, definitely. We even saw Naheem Hines get involved with some catches out of the backfield last week, putting up a decent amount of production. He's another guy, if you're in a PPR league looking for a deep running back, grab him, try him out. He might catch some balls this week. The Redskins have a good front seven. Running the ball is going to be hard in that setup, so look for a lot of passes, little short dink and dunks out of the backfield.
And
I think what?
The Redskins are pretty much going to do that to the Colts defense because Alex Smith is just going to drop this one off short to Jordan Reed, I think, all game.
Yeah, and this is one of the few times where I took a different team outright and against the spread. I think Washington wins this game, but the Colts are getting 6. I take the Colts with the 6 every time.
I could see this being a game. Adrian Peterson just ran for his 100th touchdown. This could be a game. He could have a good day here just because the Colts' rush defense is so bad.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know what keeps clicking on the bottom of the table, but I know they probably can't hear it, but it's driving me wild here. Very unprofessional, but had to be spoken about. Moving into the Carolina Panthers at Atlanta Falcons. I have this game at 28-17 in favor of Atlanta. This game has potential to be very boring.
Yeah, it also has potential to be very exciting, though, too. If that Panthers offense, if they can get going, they could give the Falcons a run for their money. The Panthers are still a solid team. They're not terrible. And I think they proved that against the Cowboys last week. Falcons are probably definitely going to struggle running the ball against the Panthers. And if they do, and Matt Ryan plays like he did against the Eagles, the Panthers could steal this game.
Absolutely, and if Steve Sarkisian calls plays the way he has been for the past year and one game, the Panthers could steal this game as well. It is in Atlanta, and I think the Falcons are a very different team at home. I like them in this game. I have the Falcons winning the game outright, and I am taking them against the spread at -6. I have no problem taking that. I think they could win this game by 10.
Yeah, I'm going to disagree with you. With the spread, I'd have to go with the Panthers. And I think definitely the over for this at 44.5. I think the Falcons are going to be a high-scoring team, but I could see the Panthers keeping up with them too.
I don't know. They have a lot of trouble at offensive line right now. Greg Olson's out for at least a handful of weeks, or a fractured foot injury. I don't know how efficiently they'll move the ball without him there. He's always been kind of the guy. I expect Devin Funchess to play a big role in the passing game these next couple weeks.
Yeah, for sure.
He'll definitely step up production-wise, but yeah, again, I like the Falcons outright and against the spread. And you said you like Falcons outright, Panthers against the spread?
Yeah, Falcons win. But I think this is going to be closer than people think.
Game that could actually be close. Los Angeles Chargers travel to Buffalo to take on the Bills. I have this game 24-10 in favor of the Chargers.
That's close?
No, I think it could be closer than that, though.
That may be close for a Bills game this year.
Close for a Bills game. I'm saying it could be closer than where I have it at. That I'm still not giving up on the Bills' defense. I think they have potential.
Yeah, but, dude, I mean, look what the Chargers lost last week, and look what Phillip Rivers did.
Okay, but let's also look at the Chargers losing the first 4 weeks last year by field goals because of shit decisions. It's what the Chargers do. They blow games they shouldn't blow.
They lost to an explosive team. I think a lot of people are giving the Chiefs a lot more hype than they should get. But I think the Chargers, I think they dominate the Bills this game.
I think they should come out and be the way better team in this case. I worry about them in these early games because this team seems to blow their own leads more than anyone else.
Well, didn't you just hear they lost Joey Bosa, right?
Well, Joey Bosa's out for the next couple. What was it? He has a bone bruise. I think it was in his leg. I'm not positive, but he's going to be out for the next couple weeks probably, and he's not going to be playing in Buffalo. He didn't play last week in Kansas City, and that's clearly a big hit for them. They weren't able to get as much pressure on Patrick Mahomes as I thought they would be able to without him. Shows how much he means to that team.
Yeah.
The spread for this, the Chargers are giving up 7.5. How do you feel there?
You've got to take the Chargers covering that, I think. I don't see the Bills keeping this within a 8-point game.
And food for thought, Josh Allen is starting that game.
Yeah, it doesn't matter who's at quarterback. Nathan Peterman's terrible. I don't think Josh Allen's much better.
Yet again, Nathan Peterman started a game that he didn't finish. He's started 3 different games now and has yet to finish one.
Yeah, he looks better every game.
Does he?
Sure.
The team that you just said got too much hype. Kansas City travels to Pittsburgh. I have this game 35-21 in favor of Pittsburgh, and the spread is +4 for the Chiefs, -4 for the Steelers.
Now, before we go into this, let's go Steelers last week. Let's look at this more in depth. Ben Roethlisberger probably played one of the worst games he's played.
Oh, yeah.
And
no, every time he plays the Jags, it's like that.
He played one of the worst games he's ever played, pouring out. They missed Chris Boswell missed a field goal in the rain. I mean, yeah, I don't blame Chris Boswell for that tie, but the Steelers looked so bad besides James Conner, and that is not the Steelers. I see them bouncing back and dominantly beating the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs. I'm not gonna get on board with Pat Mahomes. He looked terrible throwing the ball short, and people are hyping him up because he has all these passing touchdowns. Well, 2 of them were handoffs.
Yeah, literally.
So it's just like, chill out with this for a little bit. If you're gonna hype a quarterback up, let's hype Sam Darnold up, not Pat Mahomes.
Sam Darnold looked great.
He did, but I'm saying Pat Mahomes looked great Sam Darnold looked great as a quarterback. Pat Mahomes looked great handing the ball off and throwing the ball 40 yards downfield to Tyreek Hill. But it's just like Tyreek Hill it's not like he was making hard passes. He was hitting Tyreek Hill wide open.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, he had a very low completion percentage, and most of those were short passes that he was way out of whack with.
Yeah, within 10 yards, he looked it's like he wasn't even getting near receivers.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm taking the Steelers to win this and cover the 4-point spread. That Chiefs defense isn't good. And with that Steelers talent on offense, James Conner, again, he's looking great. Antonio Brown's always there. Juju's there. They still have Jesse James even. I don't know if Vance is playing this week, but they have the talent there to move the ball all over a defense that I think is weak.
I think the Browns have had an underrated defense coming into this season, too. Denzel Ward looked great. The defense alone for the Cleveland didn't look bad. The Chiefs' defense looks terrible. How much did they score? What was the score of that Chiefs-Chargers game?
Let me pull it up real quick, and I can check. You can keep talking while I figure it out.
But that game was just. I felt like the Chargers allowed a lot of points. You allow a lot of points against the Steelers. If you give Ben Roethlisberger holes, he's going to exploit that defense. He may not be the greatest quarterback, but he's definitely going to get the job done.
38-28 was that Chiefs-Chargers game.
Exactly. I mean, their defense still allowed 28 points.
Yeah.
It's just that's too many points to allow.
Nick, your friend Richie from
Richie Rivers
from work is saying that Phillip Rivers is better than Tom Brady, and let's go Buffalo. Richie, I hate to break the news to you, but Tom Brady's a better quarterback than Phillip Rivers, and Buffalo's going to struggle to win 3 games this year.
I'll give him that Phillip Rivers is the most underrated quarterback right now.
Oh, yeah, for sure, but Tom Brady's better.
Yeah, and Buffalo, yeah.
Buffalo's going to be the worst team in the NFL.
At least you guys go get the first draft pick.
Yep, you can get Nick Bosa.
For that game,
I have
Steelers.
the Chiefs I have the Steelers covering the spread, winning outright, and the point total's at 52.5. I don't mind taking that. If
the Chiefs do dominantly beat the Steelers, they may be the real deal.
Yeah. If they come out and convincingly march all over the Steelers, Patrick Mahomes plays good football, and that defense shows up, then
there's no arguing. They're a good team. But this is a big test for them, and I think the Steelers are just better.
Miami Dolphins at New York Jets. I have this game 18-15 in favor of Miami. The spread is ±3 with the Dolphins getting 3.
I love this game.
This should be a fun game.
These are 2 teams that are kind of in the same spot. They're fun to watch this year.
Yeah,
both teams.
That's something you couldn't say last year, the year before, or the year before.
And come to find out, a healthy Ryan Tannehill on that Miami Dolphins team
with Adam Gase,
they're good.
Yeah, they have a nice little connection together. They were using Albert Wilson in a fun way. It's a good team. The Jets could be a good team. They have that fun young defense. They're fast as hell.
This could be the game, though. You see a rookie appearance from Darnold. I think he turns the ball over. He struggles a little bit. He overcomes it. He plays well, but not as great as he did against that Lions team.
And I want to see this Jets defense against a Miami team that I think is a lot more conservative than the Lions were.
Yeah, exactly.
The Lions turn that ball over a lot. The Dolphins are never the most impressive offensive team, but Ryan Tannehill is also not going to come out and throw a 70-yard pass most of the time.
But at the same time, if they're hitting you with those slots and you start covering it, he can hit you deep. He can hit Kenny Stills deep. And I could see that, again, 18-15 game. I could see 7 points coming up on the board. Kenny Stills hit deep. Something like that.
And the Jets won't have Ryan Tannehill's hand signals memorized since he hasn't played in a long time.
So it's going to be a good game. It's going to be an important game towards the end of the season, too, I think.
And another game that could prove wildly important in the end of the season, Minnesota Vikings at Green Bay Packers. I have this game 24-17 Minnesota. The spread right now is +1 for the Packers, -1 for the Vikings. This could be a huge game.
It depends. If Aaron Rodgers, we've got to see what Aaron Rodgers is going to look like coming into this game. If he still can't drop back, he's going to get hit more this game.
Yeah.
And if he is struggling with that leg, this is going to be a rough game for him.
Now, let me ask you this: since they started off 1-0, the Packers started off 1-0. If Aaron Rodgers isn't 100%, do you sit him this game and kind of deal with the loss in week 2 and move forward?
I don't know.
This is the game. Aaron Rodgers got hurt against these guys the first time they played last year.
The problem is that this game could decide the division at the end.
They play again though.
I know, but this is an important game. Because say, they sit Rodgers this game, and for some reason the second time they play, they lose like a really close game. If they won this game, it kind of nulls, it kind of helps with that. It makes the series 1-1 instead of 2-0. It could be the difference between a 12-4 season and 11-5 season.
I guess my only concern is Rodgers coming in, not being able to move out of the pocket and getting hurt again, and being in that situation all over again.
Yeah, because that Packers offensive line struggled.
Yeah, and that was against, a solid Bears defense, but the Vikings also have one of the most impressive defensive fronts in the league.
Yeah, and this Vikings defense looked really good last week. I expect them to look really good again this week. I can't bet against Aaron Rodgers ever.
I think even if Aaron Rodgers plays, I'm taking Minnesota here.
I'm going to go with the Packers. It's just hard for me to bet against them. I will say, if this was a bet, Reggie Gilbert gets his first sack of the season this week.
On Kirk Cousins?
On Kurt. He gets them. For you.
Not much would make me happier than watching.
He'll get them for you, dude.
Watching the first player we interviewed sack my least favorite quarterback in the NFL.
When he broke up that pass, I think that was like, this is the start of his career right here. Just watch. This is where he starts. This is where he makes a name for himself.
I would love to see him come out and hit Kirk Cousins, because that would be me standing on the couch cheering.
Oh, yeah, and I think he'll do that. And when he does it, he'll say, "That's for you, sports dorks, Tim."
That'd be the coolest thing that's ever happened in my life. We have the Houston Texans. So you're taking Packers outright and against the spread?
Yep.
The spread's 1 point.
Yeah,
so
I'm taking the Packers.
Outright, obviously, go that way. I did not put the point total, how amateurish of me. Let me find that real quick, because I am curious what the point total is for that game.
For the Packers-Vikings?
Yeah.
I'd have to guess it's probably low 40s, just because the Vikings D is so good. But they're often, maybe, like 40.
46.5.
I was going to say maybe 45.
That's a weird spread. Like, I might go,
I think you're
spread, but point total. I might go under on that.
Yeah. I think the Packers defense is a lot better than people think, even when Clay Matthews gives up free penalties.
Yeah, and the secondary is not half bad. Houston Texans at Tennessee Titans.
You watched this game more in depth than I did, and you pointed a I think it's a big question mark on the Houston Texans, and that's Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, we watched Deshaun Watson turn the ball over on a read option, not knowing what to read. He was handing the ball off to Lamar Miller, wasn't sure if he wanted to hand it off or keep it, and in the end, they both just let go of the ball. It fell to the ground, and the Patriots recovered it. This was the first play after a punt.
Now, Lamar Miller did rush for 98 yards. Did he get a ton of touches? I didn't get to watch this game.
He carried the ball over 20 times. He looked good.
He did look good.
He was moving the ball. That offensive line is horrendous.
But what I'm saying is, do the Texans trust Deshaun Watson? Was he throwing the ball a lot?
Yeah, no, they were running their offense in, I would say, almost the normal way. Deshaun Watson just wasn't the guy he was last year, and that's something that I kind of expected, especially, he's an athletic guy coming off of an ACL injury. He's going to have to rely on his actual quarterback IQ now, and he struggled there.
Yeah, and that puts a big question mark on what his IQ is. The Titans, on the other hand, this team...
Well, Marcus Mariota might not be playing.
That's what I'm saying. Injury-free, I would take the Titans, but I don't know who's going to play.
Delaney Walker's out for the season.
Yeah. You got Delaney Walker out.
We don't know if Taylor Lewan or
exactly.
Jack Conklin are playing, and that's both of their tackles.
That's both tackles. And if Mariota isn't playing, then you have Blaine Gabbert coming in.
Come on, hop off.
And I don't
Blaine's fine.
I don't trust Blaine Gabbert to beat this Texans D. He could keep it close, because after watching the Texans against the Patriots, they look decent, but they don't look great.
And it's hard to see how the Titans look, because again, that Dolphins-Titans game was an 8-hour game. So
but at the same time, the injuries do.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
The injuries are a game changer here.
It's making me nervous about all my preseason Titans claims, because if it's a healthy team, I stand by them. with the injury bug hitting so hard, if these guys don't figure their shit out injury-wise soon, this could be a long year.
Yeah, it could be like a lot like last year where they just looked like they got a playoff spot, but I think if they play like they did last year, they're not making the playoffs this year.
If Mariota stays out, Derek Morgan stays out, Delaney Walker's out for the season, they might not make the playoffs.
Yeah.
That would be a bad look for them. I do have Tennessee winning this game. I don't have a spread for it because I can't find it anywhere with Marcus Mariota out. A lot of books won't release it because if they
Nobody's
give
probably
too
really
big of
betting
a
on it
spread
right
and
now.
Mariota comes back, well, no. If they put a big spread out there, people are going to take
True.
it in case Mariota comes back. And then that could really mess the books up if he's back.
On this point in time right now on Wednesday, if Marcus Mariota is not playing, I'm going to go with Texans. Close game, but Texans win.
This time Wednesday?
Well, this time, like, as of right now, on Wednesday, Wednesday, September 12th,
Oh, I was going to say,
if Mariota's not playing, I'm going to go with the Texans. If he plays, I'd probably go with the Titans.
Yeah, it's going to be a game time thing for me because if he plays, I think they're the better team. Philadelphia Eagles at Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on Fitzmagic.
Favorites, take the Bucs. Go. That's it. They're taking the over. You're taking the over on the Bucs, guaranteed, because they cover that in the first half. And then you just take the
point
Bucs
total is 44, and the Bucs put up 48 last week.
Yeah, I know.
Mathematically, it's in.
Yeah, so I mean, you check if Ryan Fitzpatrick's starting, they're Super Bowl champions.
The spread in this game is surprisingly only 3.5. The Eagles are giving up 3.5 on the road. The point total is 44. I think the Eagles will win this game.
I think the spread's 3.5 only because that Bucs D. Yeah, the Saints were scoring on them, but the Saints are a great offense, and that Bucs D can be very good.
And Nick Foles can be very bad.
Yeah. And
the Eagles and Falcons, I guess, both looked horrible in that Monday. I'm really messing up here. Thursday night game.
In fantasy, the Bucs D right now, this week, they could get you some points.
Yeah, or they could lose you a lot if Nick Foles comes out and just pops off.
Yeah, but he didn't really pop off week 1.
No, but he never really does, and then he just does it sometimes.
Yeah,
He's one of my least favorite guys to bet on or against because you don't know what you're getting.
It's as soon as you bet against him, he pops off.
I know, and now I'm picking him to win this, and he's going to come out and throw 7 interceptions, and the Bucs are going to be 2-0.
I was about to say, I don't know, Ryan Fitzpatrick. His career, he hasn't been a streaky quarterback. He's never put up numbers like that.
No, but he's never been the worst guy.
He's never been
league.
The worst guy either. So if he plays like his safe, I think he's better than Jameis Winston. If he plays like that safe Ryan Fitzpatrick that he usually plays, it's enough for the Bucs to have a decent record.
But Deshaun Jackson is out.
Is he out?
He is out. I don't think he's going to be playing in this game, and that's
what's huge for
Mike.
Yeah, because now you can focus more on Mike Evans.
And the Eagles' defense is still legit. My real only concern here is the Eagles moving the ball.
And I don't know, what's the spread? Did you say?
3.5. Eagles are giving up 3.5.
I would take the Eagles to win, Bucs to cover, though.
That's what I'm doing. I think this game, I have Eagles winning 24-21. I have to pick against the spread for a work pool. I would not personally be betting against the spread in any way.
I would go definitely over on the 44-point total, though.
Even in the 16 teaser we'll talk about later, I avoided this game completely because I don't want to take the Eagles plus, 2.5 at that point and then have them lose because it's like this game, this is the most troubling game for me, I think. Cleveland Browns at New Orleans Saints. I picked this game 35-14. The spread right now is -10 from the Saints, +10 for the Browns, and the point total is 49.5. What do you think?
I don't know. I don't know where either of these teams are at right now. Ryan Fitzpatrick put up incredible numbers. Everybody's kind of picking the Saints to do their thing this year, be a top contender in the NFC. The Browns, they tied the Steelers, and I think that, I don't know, this is one of the harder games for me to bet just because the Saints are home again. They should blow out the Browns, but maybe the Browns hang in there. I don't see the Browns winning this game, but it could be closer than 35-14, but it could also be 42-7.
Yeah, for me, the way I look at it is, the Saints got absolutely embarrassed at home in their home opener. They're coming out against a team that really has no place competing against them. Again, I'm all for the Browns. I love their offseason narrative, and I would love for them to come out and be like a 9-7 team out of nowhere. Or I guess 9-6-1, but I don't think they're in the same class as the Saints. And I think the Saints have a lot to prove this week, and they're going to come out and not take their foot off the gas even when they're up 25.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't know where the Browns are at. I don't know what they are yet.
Tyrod took a lot of hits last week, too.
And he also didn't complete a lot of passes.
No, and he threw, 3 interceptions, which is more than we've seen him throw.
And so, it's...
However, Richie, if you're still listening, he's a better quarterback than Nathan Peterman and Josh Allen.
Josh Gordon may play this game. And if he plays this game, that's huge for them.
No, I think he'll be on the field.
But that's what I'm saying. That, he played, pretty much the fourth quarter, really, right?
I'm not positive.
I know the last pick Tyrod threw was towards Josh Gordon. He was trying to hit Josh Gordon deep downfield.
But also he threw a touchdown to Josh Gordon.
Exactly. So, Josh Gordon is a huge weapon. Arguably, probably one of the top receivers when he plays.
Yeah.
And
it's better when he's on drugs, inevitably.
And if he, I don't know. I don't know where the Browns are. So I'd go Saints just because it's confusing right now.
Oh, how embarrassing is this?
I saw it.
Looking through the article right now, I have the game separated. If anyone's listening, you go check it out. I have the game separated by time, and I have 4:05 p.m. and then the next line says EST, Arizona's Cardinals. That's a little mistake, but you know what? We're all human. Cardinals at Rams, 4:05. I have this game 28-10. The Rams. The spread is 13 for the Cardinals. The Rams would be giving up 13, and the point total is 45. What do you think?
In a division game, I'm never going to take a 13-point spread. I'm always
rough.
gonna take the team who's getting the points in a division game.
Especially when they have, one of the best running backs in the league. They can keep that clock moving if he can show up and play.
I think it's going to be hard for the Rams to really put up that many points against them, just because the Cardinals are probably going to have the ball so long, just because they're going to be running. David Johnson himself will pick you up first downs.
I picked the Rams again to win this 28-10, and I'm picking the Cardinals to cover the spread. I know mathematically that obviously doesn't make sense, and it's very contradictory, but I don't. It's the only score that makes sense to me, but at the same time, I can't bring myself to bet against a team getting that many points, and I'll get more into that on my teaser, hinting at that, but it's hard to pick a team getting 13. As far as the 45-point total goes, I don't think I'll pick that. I think
it's
I'll
just
go over.
Because for that to be over, it's going to have to be the Rams scoring 35, 38. The Cardinals aren't going to score a lot.
No, and again, I think they're going to use David Johnson a lot more effectively this week, and that's going to milk the clock.
Yeah.
So I have the Rams winning, and I have the Cardinals covering there and under on the point total. What about you?
Same thing.
Detroit Lions at San Francisco 49ers. I have this game 17-10, 49ers.
I think this is where the 49ers, this is going to be like a 24-10 game, maybe even higher for the 49ers. The Lions did not look good. I think the 49ers have enough to pressure Matthew Stafford to make mistakes again. And
DeForest Buckner looked like an animal in week 1.
And I think this 49ers team, they lost by 8 to the Vikings. And you got to remember, Jimmy G threw 3 interceptions. Okay. We went over this yesterday, though. He threw 3 picks. One of them was on the last drive of the game. I never count that interception for any quarterback.
Especially when you're down by 1 possession. You're literally just trying to put the ball in the end zone.
So everybody knows what you're doing. They all know you're passing.
And you're desperate.
One of his interceptions, a receiver slipped and he threw the ball, and everybody went, "Oh, look at that pick. He threw it right to the guy." Well, look at his receiver on the ground.
Yeah, the second interception was his fault.
Yeah.
Bad throw, bad read.
But, okay.
The other 2, you can kind of write off as growing pains. The first one you can write off as like a growing pain with a guy running a route that's being incorporated in a more complex offense. Yeah. It's going to happen early on. The other one, again, was a last try.
Look for the 49ers to bounce back. They're home. This is with a Lions team that I don't think is going to be good this year.
The 49ers are giving up 6. I like the 49ers to win and cover, and I like this game under the point total of 48.
Yeah, the 49ers are never going to be a team that scores a ton. Until Jimmy G gets some real weapons in there.
They're not he's good when we don't know how much he's going to play.
Yeah, but the Lions just, They could go 3-13, 4-12 this year. I would not be shocked.
They also are dealing with all the drama right now of the aforementioned hand signals, trying to change things up. If the Jets truly knew the hand signals, which it looked like they did.
The 49ers know them too.
Not even that. It looked like they knew the hand signals, and at that point, the Lions have to go, oh, fuck, we got to figure out how to do this now.
And
they have the pressure of changing all of that this week.
It's just...
on a short week. They played on a Monday.
I didn't see anything impressive from that Lions team at all against the Jets. I don't think the Jets are a huge powerhouse team, and they destroyed the Lions.
Yeah, and again, that was a terrible game on all fronts for the Lions, but...
I think the 49ers are a solid team. Jimmy G, George Kittle here. It's going to be a big matchup, I think, this week.
George Kittle's going to look good. I think he's going to terrorize those linebackers that try to cover him. New England Patriots at Jacksonville Jaguars. This game is exciting. I have this game 21-17 Jacksonville. The Jags are getting 3, and the point total is 45.
This is your second year in a row championship game. I think this is the AFC championship game.
The Jags should have won this game last year.
They should have.
In Foxborough, the Jags should have walked out and won the Super Bowl.
Against that Giants team, we really didn't see any holes on the Jags defense. Everybody's tearing up Jalen Ramsey about OBJ catching all these passes.
11.
They played a lot of zone that game. And I think Jalen Ramsey is going to be tested a lot this year. You're going to see a lot of people targeting Jalen Ramsey more.
Yeah, he talks shit to the entire NFL.
Yeah, so, I'd expect Tom Brady to even come out and target him, see what he's really made of. Jalen Ramsey is going to get an interception on Tom Brady this week because he's going to do something like that.
I don't know if Tom Brady's the guy that will. Nobody, because even Jalen Ramsey's talked about it before. He's tried to talk shit to Tom Brady, and I guess, he's one of those guys that literally no one can get in his head.
Tom Brady almost loves that shit talking, too. Not because he talks shit back, but he just thinks it's funny.
Yeah, he doesn't give a shit.
You can see him laughing.
I'm the best quarterback of all time.
But a big matchup here is Gronk and Miles Jack. And Miles Jack is a monster.
Miles Jack's good, and Telvin Smith's going to be worked in there, too.
Yeah, so
You've got, two of the best linebackers in the NFL working on Gronk, and you might see some safety play to help over the top with him. You'll see a lot of double coverage on Gronk, and they have the talent to do that because they can afford to single cover guys like Philip Dorsett, Chris Hogan. It's not like the Patriots are deep at receiver. They pulled in a couple new guys this week, but it's still Philip Dorsett and Chris Hogan right now.
And Saquon struggled to run against this Jags defense.
Yeah, he had over 100 yards, but one of those carries was 68
Any
yards.
Patriots running back will struggle to run against this Jags defense.
And Rex Burkhead, I believe, has a concussion. Isn't playing, maybe?
Now, biggest problem for the Jags and my fantasy team.
And Jeremy Hill tore his ACL.
But the biggest thing for the Jags and my fantasy team, Leonard Fournette may not play. He's still questionable.
TJ Yeldon looked good, though.
But my fantasy team needs Leonard Fournette
team, I understand.
to play this game against a Patriots defense that he should be able to run against. TJ Yeldon, if he plays this game, he may run for 100 yards this game.
If you're looking for a deep running back here, grab somebody like TJ Yeldon, or James White will have a big role, I think. Sony Michel's probably gone in your league, sitting on someone's bench. Look for James White here. He's going to mix in. Rex Burkhead might be playing. I might have just been thinking about Jeremy Hill.
I don't think their running backs get it going against the Jags D. Yeah, the Jags defense, their weakness last year was the run game. I think they adjusted.
I think James White's going to get a lot of targets through the air.
We'll see.
He's going to be a lot of those little dink and dunks. And again, he can move with the ball after the play. They're going to have to move it somewhere, and it's not going to be stretching the field with Philip Dorsett.
But if they put Miles Jack onto James White, Miles Jack looks great in coverage.
Yeah, but again, he's going to be probably primarily tasked with handling Gronk.
Yeah, I don't know what the Jags are going to do. They have so many options at defense.
It's a fun defense. This is a game I will absolutely be tuning in. I'm glad it's 4:25 because I think the 49ers play at 1 again. So
I think this is going to be on everyone's TV at 4 o'clock. And if you don't watch it, you're missing one of the best matchups of the year.
Oh, man, the 49ers don't play at 1. It's all right. I'll have to go back and watch it. I can watch this one after the fact, but I have the Jags winning this game by 4. I obviously have them covering because they're getting points, and I think it'll be under the point total. I don't think either of these teams will move the ball effectively in this game.
Yeah, I'm going same bet as you.
We spend a lot of time talking about the Jags, but it's hard not to.
Yeah, and they're not getting enough love yet, and they will when these two play in the AFC Championship, I think, for the second year straight.
Yeah, the Jags, I can't wait. I hope they win this game because they need to do that. They need to get over that AFC lump and just know they can beat these guys because, you know what, they're probably going to end up playing them in Foxborough because Patriots will somehow pull 13 games out of their ass.
Of course.
Oakland Raiders at Denver Broncos. I have the Broncos winning this game 28-14. The spread is -6. The Broncos are giving up 6, and the Raiders are getting 6. Point total is 46.
I think the Raiders actually go 1-0, 1-1 here. I think the Raiders. This is going to be. They played really well that first half against the Rams. Either that or the Rams played really poor.
It was a mix of both. Because none of the starters played in the preseason for the Rams, so they started.
I'm going to murder his name because I never say it right, but Martavis Bryant's supposed to play this game.
You said it right.
If he plays that game, that's a huge difference maker for Derek Carr. They just signed Jonathan Hankin.
Yep.
He's probably going to start this week, maybe 1 week off.
Yeah, because Paul going through a scheme, he can just plug him in the middle and say, go get the quarterback.
But I think the problem is the Denver Broncos, I don't think offensively they're a super hot team.
Case Keenum looked good. He threw, I think, 3 picks. 2 of his picks were, I don't put a lot of heat on him. They were very athletic plays by the Seahawks defense. Case Keenum didn't look bad. A little fantasy interlude here. Phillip Lindsay, if you're looking for running back. I was skeptical, saw a lot of people snagging him after his big little, it's not little, but his breakout game in Seattle last week. I went back and watched the tape on him, and that kid, he can fly. He's fast with the ball, without the ball, he can move in routes. But when as soon as he catches the ball, he's gone. I think he's going to do a lot of work against this shaky Raiders defense. And the Broncos have a solid defense, and I think they can really trap the Raiders out. But more importantly, the Broncos in weeks 1 and 2 are historically incredible at home. And I think a lot of the time that's because teams aren't quite in game shape yet. And coming into Mile High or playing in that high altitude, this Raiders team's old. They might really struggle in that. They have, on average, they're the oldest team in the league. I think that could really show through in this kind of situation.
I like that we're betting a lot against each other, but I like I said, I think John Gruden goes 1-1, and everybody's gonna go, maybe he's not that bad of the coach.
See, I was on that same train of thought too. I thought Gruden could pull it off this week, but the Broncos have a lot going for them.
The problem with the Broncos is they play a lot of that old school football. If you watch the first half of that Rams game, the Rams offense didn't really do anything special that first half. That second half, John Gruden's defense looked so confused.
And Wade Phillips' defense didn't.
Yeah, I mean, Wade Phillips. I mean, come on.
Yeah, you give that guy a halftime to figure you out, and it's done. As we saw.
I just think the Rams had a better defense. The Raiders, I think, are going to squeak this one out.
Yeah, I can't argue it because, again, I don't know, and I wouldn't be shocked if the Raiders won this game. I think the Broncos have a lot going in their favor at home. I like them, and I'm not giving up on Case Keenum. I think he could be a good player. I like the receiving core. I like the running backs there with Phillip Lindsay, and Royce Freeman looked great.
Yeah.
These guys can move the ball. The line didn't look bad. That Raiders line showed some signs of weakness, and you got guys like Bradley Chubb and Von Miller. Von Miller had himself a day in Seattle. I'm not against that. We were getting a phone call.
I just think, I don't know. I think, like I said, the Raiders found a way to get it done. And that's, every time the Raiders win this year, you can go, they found a way to get it done. They're not going to go, you're not going to go, this is how they're going to beat them. They're just going to pull one out of their ass real quick.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if the Raiders pulled it off in a close fashion. But I also, again, I have this 28-14 for the Broncos. I wouldn't be shocked if it went this way. Right now we're moving into Sunday night. New York Giants at Dallas Cowboys.
This is the battle of the future running backs.
Literally every Sunday night game, I feel like.
Yeah, and this is where we're going to see Saquon go off, I think. Last week, he played. I think the Jags are a very underrated run defense this year. And you're going to see Saquon, I'll say, put up 150.
Yeah, I think they could play well. The Cowboys have a good secondary, and they could really limit the passing game. But they've also got some good guys up front, like DeMarcus Lawrence. And I don't mind the team here. I like the Giants winning this game 21-12. They're getting 3 on the road, and I'm obviously going to take them getting the 3 here.
We also learned that
win, and they're one of my best bets getting 3.
We also learned that if you stop Zeke, the Cowboys have nothing.
Yep. I think this game will stay below the point total of 42. I think there's going to be a snooze fest.
Yeah,
of running backs just kind of duking it out.
It's going to be a fast game. This game's going to go quick. It's just going to be a lot of runs, I think. Maybe some play actions, but God, Dak Prescott looked bad.
Dak Prescott looks bad, and that Cowboys secondary is still a toss-up. OBJ could go off.
Yeah. Oh, that's another thing. Like, OBJ could be the difference maker here.
Yeah, I think the Giants' offense is actually going to be too much for the Cowboys to keep up with.
But at the same time, the Giants, God, Eric Flowers looks so bad.
Yep.
And if he looks that bad and the line's just getting beat up, how many hits can Eli take?
I don't know. They'll get Kyle Loletta in there, I guess.
But hey, hand it off to Saquon or throw it to OBJ.
The quick passes to him, yeah, get it out of there. So I love these guys getting the 3. That's probably my favorite bet of the week is the Giants +3 because even if they lose, I can't imagine the Cowboys are going to beat them by more than a field goal.
Yeah, no way.
So worst case scenario, you push. And the last game of the week, Monday night, Seattle Seahawks at Chicago Bears. I have this game 26-14 Chicago. The Bears are giving up 3.5, and the point total is at 43.5.
Now, the thing with this is expect Khalil Mack to play more, Roquan Smith to play more.
And Roquan looked good with him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And expect these guys to get more reps. They have another week together. Roquan's finally going to... The reason why they didn't play him was he's a rookie, came into camp late. He looked good, so the Bears are going to trust him.
And Von Miller sacked Russell Wilson 3 times last week.
Yeah.
And that's because the Seahawks line's very bad. I think this Bears pass rush will get in there and carve them up. Doug Baldwin's out.
Yeah, Doug Baldwin's out. So that's another threat that the Seahawks don't have. They're a rookie tight end everybody knows about now.
They've got Will Dissly and Russell Wilson to pull this game off.
And it's just, I'm sorry, Russ. Like, we're going to go back and look at Russell Wilson's career and be like, man, I wonder how he would have been on, like, the Cowboys.
He's one of the more talented quarterbacks in the league. And
like, imagine that guy with a Cowboys line. The Cowboys are winning the Super Bowl every year.
Yeah, I mean, the Cowboys line isn't what it used to be.
But still, what it is now is still a huge step up from what the Seahawks have.
Yeah, they have a terrible line.
And the Bears are just going to carve them up.
And offensively for the Bears, Matt Nagy learned real quick into his coaching career, you can't take your foot off the pedal.
Yeah, and I don't blame him for taking his foot off the pedal. You don't want Aaron Rodgers to have the ball. The problem is he will get the ball, and when he gets the ball, he will score.
Yeah,
so you have to score.
You have to keep putting up touchdowns, not field goals. And
so, I mean,
I think they're going to come out. Jordan Howard and Tariq Cohen ran the ball remarkably well in week 1.
And the Bears' offense didn't look weak that second half.
And it didn't look too weak.
They just
made questionable calls and they didn't throw the ball enough. I think they'll come out and move the ball more efficiently. Again, I have them 26-14, winning, covering the spread. I like the under on the point total here. I think the Bears shut down the Seahawks, and again, while Matt Nagy shouldn't pull his foot off the pedal, I think if they have a lead going into the 4th, they're going to take their foot off the pedal.
I'm going to go with the over here. I think Seattle, as much as you slow down Russ, he will score.
So do you, but you still like Chicago winning?
Oh, yeah, Chicago's winning.
So for my, I'll leave my best bets on here if you want. Go read it on the website. That's a little teaser to get you there. And for my 6-team teaser of the week, I was able to get Baltimore +5, Falcons +1/2. Well, Baltimore +5 at Cincinnati. Falcons +1/2 a point, so they just need to win in Carolina. Or hosting Carolina, my bad. Chargers -1.5 in Buffalo. New Orleans -3 hosting the Browns. Cardinals +19 at the Rams. And the Giants +9 in Dallas.
I think the only question mark here is your Giants-Dallas game. Other than that, I think you're safe all around. I don't see the Rams beating the Cardinals by 20.
My only concern here is the Cardinals-Rams game.
I
don't think that the Giants getting 9. I'm not worried about it at all.
Oh, the Giants are getting. Never mind. Giants are getting 9.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is this is way safer than last week. I see no problems with this bet. I think Cardinals keep it close enough to where it's not more than 20.
But at the same time, I wouldn't be shocked if the Cardinals lost by 3 touchdowns. That team looked bad.
Yeah.
But 19 with the +6 for me, so coming up to 19 was too hard for me to pass up on.
Yeah, I don't blame you. It's a good bet.
But we will wrap this up, and you guys can feel free to email really either one of us. You can find those emails on the website. It's really Timothy Chur at sports-dorks.com, Nick Kappas at sports-dorks.com. Find us on iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, YouTube, and now Facebook. We're growing.
Yeah, we're getting there. Instagram at Nick Kappas and Timothy J. Chura.
And at _.
Yeah, DM us on any of that. We'll get back to you.
Find us, again, on those other apps by just searching Sports Talks Podcast. It's mixed in with the Bump and Shoulders ones. And
Bump and Shoulders will be back next Wednesday for week 3.
No,
Friday?
No. Third of the Mile is next Wednesday.
Oh, that's what I meant.
Friday's Bump and Shoulders.
Friday's Bump and Shoulders, Third of the Mile next Wednesday.
And again, we're going to be on Facebook every time now. Man, there's something else I wanted to plug with it. Oh, give us 5 stars. Subscribe. Tell your friends. Even share this Facebook post if you're watching on here. It means a lot. This music's getting a little bit louder as we go, so you're going to have to... I guess that's our cue to take a back seat on this one. See you guys Friday.